The livestream notification popped up on my phone at exactly 3:47 p.m. David, my husband of 12 years, was going live on Instagram. The title made my blood freeze. Time for truth, major life update. I was standing in our kitchen, still wearing the apron from making his favorite dinner, lasagna, the same recipe I'd perfected over a decade of marriage. The cheese was browning in the oven, filling our home with the warmth I thought we still shared. My finger hovered over the notification. Something cold settled in my stomach. David never did social media. He barely remembered to post birthday photos. The man who claimed Instagram was for narcissists was suddenly broadcasting to the world. I tapped the screen. There he was, sitting in his home office, the one I'd helped him design when he started his consulting firm 5 years ago. The lighting was perfect, professional, like he'd planned this. "Hey everyone." David's voice carried that smooth confidence I'd fallen in love with in college. "I know this isn't my usual content, but I have something important to share." The viewer count climbed. 50, 75, 100. I recognized some of the usernames scrolling past in the chat. His colleagues, my sister, Sarah, our neighbors, people from our daughter, Emma's school. "Marriage is complicated," he continued, adjusting his tie. "The blue one I'd bought him last Christmas. Sometimes two people grow apart, and the honest thing is to admit when it's over." The lasagna timer went off behind me. I didn't move. "Rebecca and I are getting divorced." The words hit like a physical blow. I gripped the counter, my wedding ring catching the afternoon light streaming through our bay windows. The same windows where we'd stood 12 years ago, planning our future. The chat exploded. Heart emojis mixed with shocked faces. Sarah's username appeared. "What? David, call me now." He kept talking. Smooth. Practiced. Like he'd rehearsed this moment. "We want different things. Rebecca has become, well, let's just say the person I married isn't the person she is today. I need someone who supports my ambitions instead of holding me back." Holding him back. The phrase echoed in my head. I'd worked 2 jobs to put him through business school. I'd handled every midnight feeding, every doctor's appointment, every parent-teacher conference while he built his career. I'd moved across 3 states for his opportunities, leaving behind my own dreams each time. The viewer count hit 200. "I'll be filing papers tomorrow," he said, his voice steady as a news anchor. "Emma will be staying with me, of course. Children need stability, and Rebecca's emotional state lately makes that impossible. My daughter, my 8-year-old daughter who still crawled into my bed during thunderstorms, who trusted me to braid her hair perfectly for school pictures. Who told me last week that I was the best mom in the universe." The smoke alarm shrieked. The lasagna was burning. I turned off the oven with shaking hands, my mind racing. This wasn't just cruel. This was strategic. Public humiliation designed to control the narrative before I could respond. Classic David. Always 3 moves ahead. But David had made one critical mistake. He'd forgotten what I did for a living. I was a forensic accountant. I traced money for divorce attorneys, tracked hidden assets, and followed paper trails that cheating spouses thought they'd buried. For 15 years, I'd been the woman other wives hired to find what their husbands were hiding. And I'd been tracking my own husband for 6 months. It started with small things. New clothes he claimed were client gifts. Dinner charges to restaurants across town when he said he was working late. ATM withdrawals in amounts too small for business expenses, but too regular for coincidence. Then I found the credit card. Chase Sapphire. Opened 3 months ago. Statement address listed as his office, not our home. When I finally gained access through his laptop that he'd carelessly left open, the charges painted a clear picture. Hotels, expensive restaurants, jewelry stores, all in the company of his 26-year-old assistant, Melissa. But the credit card was nothing compared to what I found when I really started digging. David's Instagram Live was still running. He was answering comments now, playing the victim with practiced ease. "Has he been unfaithful?" someone asked. "I'm not here to throw accusations," he replied, his voice dripping with false nobility. "I just want to move forward with dignity." Dignity. The word tasted bitter on my tongue. I opened my laptop and pulled up the files I'd been compiling. Bank statements, wire transfer records, corporate documents, the digital breadcrumbs that revealed my husband's true nature. David had been very busy, very clever, very stupid. The offshore account in the Cayman Islands held $2.3 million, money systematically transferred from his business accounts over the past 18 months, funds that should have been reported as income. Funds that made our joint tax returns fraudulent. But that wasn't even the best part. The investment property in Melissa's name, purchased with laundered business funds, the shell company registered in Delaware designed to hide assets during divorce proceedings. The systematic transfer of his business contracts to a new entity that I wasn't named on. My husband had been planning this divorce for over a year, planning to leave me with nothing while he started fresh with his young girlfriend, backed by millions in hidden wealth. He thought he was smart. He thought I was just a housewife who handled his books. He was about to learn otherwise. I joined the Instagram Live. My username appeared in the chat, Rebecca Morrison, CPA. The wife he was publicly destroying was now in his audience. David's eyes flicked to his phone screen. For just a moment, his practiced composure cracked. I saw fear flash across his face before he recovered. "Oh, look who decided to join us," he said, his voice tight. "Hello, Rebecca. I'm sorry you had to find out this way, but I thought public transparency was important." The chat went wild. 200 viewers became 300. Someone was screen recording. This would be saved forever. I started typing. "Transparency is important, David. Like being transparent about the $2.3 million in offshore accounts." His face went white. "I don't know what you're talking about," he said, but his voice lost its confidence. I kept typing, my fingers flying across the keyboard. Years of building cases had taught me to be methodical, precise, devastating. Cayman Islands Bank Limited. Account number ending in 7,442. Opened 14 months ago. Current balance, 347,829.33. The chat exploded. Numbers don't lie. Bank account numbers are specific, cold, undeniable. David's hand moved toward his phone, probably to end the stream, but it was too late. 300 viewers had become 500. The internet never forgets. Or should we talk about the investment property at 445 Maple Drive, purchased under Melissa Chen's name with laundered funds from Morrison Consulting LLC? I watched my husband's world crumble in real time. His face cycled through emotions: panic, rage, desperation. The smooth confidence evaporated like steam. "Rebecca, you're clearly having some kind of breakdown," he said, but his voice shook. "Everyone can see you're not well." Not well. Gaslighting me even now, even as his lies caught fire around him. I picked up my phone and called the stream myself. "David, since we're being transparent, why don't you take my call? Let's discuss this like the married couple we apparently still are." The phone rang through his stream. He stared at it like a snake about to strike. 600 viewers waited. He couldn't ignore it without looking guilty. He couldn't answer it without giving me a platform. He answered. "Rebecca, please." His voice came through both his stream and my phone. "This isn't the time or place." "Oh, but it is," I said, my voice calm and clear. "You made it the time and place when you announced our divorce to hundreds of strangers, so let's give them the full story." I could see him on the screen, trapped. The viewer count hit 700. "Let's talk about Morrison Consulting's tax returns for 2022 and 2023. The ones I prepared, the ones that somehow failed to include offshore income. That makes them fraudulent, doesn't it, David?" His breathing was visible now. Short, panicked gasps. "Or maybe we should discuss your associate Melissa Chen and how business funds paid for her engagement ring." "Yes, David, I found the receipt. Tiffany, Co. 47-0. Purchase date March 15th. 3 days after you told me we couldn't afford Emma's summer camp." The silence stretched across the live stream. 700 people watching my husband's mask slip away completely. "You're insane," he whispered finally. "Am I? Let's ask the IRS. I filed a whistleblower complaint yesterday. They're very interested in tax evasion cases involving offshore accounts, especially ones worth over $2 million. David's hand shot out and ended the stream. But it was too late. The internet had watched David Morrison, successful consultant and devoted father, transform into something else entirely. Something desperate and cornered. My phone buzzed immediately. Sarah calling. "Did you really just destroy your husband on Instagram Live?" she asked, as soon as I answered. "He destroyed himself," I said, surprised by how steady my voice sounded. "I just provided documentation." "Holy shit, Becca. The screen recordings are already everywhere. Twitter, TikTok, Facebook. You're trending." I walked to the window and looked out at our neighborhood. Same houses, same trees, same perfect suburban facade. But everything had changed in the span of 20 minutes. "Sarah, I need you to pick up Emma from school. Don't let David near her. I'm filing emergency custody papers in the morning." Already on my way. Real lawyers move fast when their cases involve tax fraud and hidden assets. By the next morning, I had restraining orders, emergency custody, and asset freeze orders. David's accounts were locked pending investigation. The IRS moves slower, but when they finally knock, they kick down the door. David's business folded within 2 weeks. Criminal charges followed within a month. The man who thought he could publicly humiliate me into silence learned that numbers don't care about emotions, and paper trails are more powerful than social media narratives. The divorce was finalized 4 months later. I received 70% of legitimate assets, full custody of Emma, and immunity in exchange for cooperation with the federal investigation. David got 5 to 7 years for tax evasion and fraud. Melissa got a canceled engagement and a subpoena. Emma got a mother who fought for her and a trust fund built from her father's seized assets. I got my life back. The last message David sent before his sentencing was a single text: "You destroyed me." I never responded. Some truths don't require acknowledgement. But if I had answered, I would have told him what I told myself every morning while rebuilding. "You destroyed yourself the moment you forgot who you married. I just made sure everyone else knew the truth." The morning of his sentencing, I made lasagna, the same recipe I'd been preparing the day he tried to humiliate me into silence, but this time I made it for Emma and myself. Just the two of us, building something new from the ashes of what came before. The cheese browned perfectly, the kitchen filled with warmth, and for the first time in months, our house felt like home again. Emma looked up from her homework, tomato sauce on her chin. "Mom, why did Daddy have to go away?" I wiped her face gently, choosing my words carefully. Sometimes people make choices that hurt the people who love them. When that happens, there are consequences. But you and I, we're going to be just fine. "Better than fine," she said, with 8-year-old certainty. "We're going to be great." She was right. We already were. The Instagram Live that was supposed to be my public humiliation became something else entirely. It became the moment I stopped being the woman who quietly managed the books and started being the woman who made them balance. David had wanted transparency. He got it. Just not the kind he expected. In the end, the internet remembered everything. Every lie, every hidden account, every moment his mask slipped away. His attempt to control the narrative became evidence in court. His moment of calculated cruelty became the catalyst for his complete downfall. Some stories end with forgiveness. Some end with reconciliation. Some end with walking away. This one ended with justice. And sometimes, in a world that rarely sees cheaters face real consequences, justice tastes better than any revenge ever could. David had forgotten something crucial about the woman he married. I wasn't just Rebecca, the accommodating wife who made his favorite meals and managed his books. I was Rebecca Morrison, CPA, forensic specialist, the woman other wives called when they needed to find the truth. He gambled everything on my silence. He lost everything when I chose to speak. The live stream was his idea. The ending was mine, and in the digital age, endings live forever.